Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Gerber on the line. He's SVP of Explainify. And for those of you that have been watching this show for a long time, you know this is a book author episode, and I love promoting books and our new authors in the Mission Matters series. So first off, Derek, I'd just like to say welcome back to the show. This is our second time working together.
Hey, man, it's so good to see your face and be back here on the show. Thanks again for having me. It's always a blast.
Man, so of course, we'll talk about the book and have to talk about Explainify. So you guys are really doing some great work over there when it comes to videos and explainer videos and really just a whole nother angle on that. And what people think maybe they did know, they have no idea of what can be done with these types of the type of videos and content that you are producing. So we'll get into that as well. But first, we'll start this episode the way we start them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Derek, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Derek, what mission matters to you?
Yeah, after 10 years of doing this now, it's our 10th year anniversary at Explainify. We've generated millions of satisfied viewers for our clients. And so it really brings a lot of purpose to us to know that these brands, these global brands that you know and love, trust us to bring their stories to life through short form video content. So we call them explainer videos, but really they go on websites, national advertising campaigns, and now probably heading towards the metaverse, if you want to reach that far. But really the content for video is what people are demanding for on-demand communication methods. And so the medium of video is something that we've mastered again over the last 10 years. And it's exciting to see where it's heading right now. The new technology platforms that are coming to life and being on the forefront of that, we take a lot of pride in knowing that people trust us to pave the way to success for them.
Man, that's awesome. Love bringing mission-based entrepreneurs on the show to share why they do what they do. And first off, congrats. Did you say over 15 years now?
10 years this
10.
This year. And again, 15 years is on the horizon. Who knows? It'll go by just like that. But we're really excited to see we've had a lot of growth in the last couple of years, even though the pandemic has been hard. People have come to us with even more dire straight needs to say, I still need to grow. I still need to do these things. I need to get this messaging out, and people want videos. And so, again, we're really proud to know that companies continue to trust in this year over year to build their campaigns, but then we're attracting more and more of an audience along the way. And it's really been fun and exciting. The stories we get to tell are second to none.
But the 15 number, that's, you've been in the business longer, right? So your background just in marketing. So you've been doing this a long time, right?
Yes, I have got 15 years of technology and sales and marketing experience under my own belt. Got to travel the world there. I've been to Silicon Valley a couple times, spoke there. Got to say, I still am a technology enthusiast at heart. I love computers. I love software. I love robotic process automation and intelligent automation. If that's too many words, it's okay. It's just all the things around you that make the world click. There's always a story behind the technology there. And I like just from being into the, let's just call it a habit of mine to always be following along with the latest technology trends. But then on the forefront of it, of how you communicate that messaging through marketing, that's something that I've always loved doing, whether it be on stage through live technology events, through hosting virtual events, which are much more popular these days. I got to say, the whole stretch of it, bringing those stories to life and finding the right solutions for clients, that whole thing right there creates a trifecta for me that I'm really proud of, and continue to keep walking down that road.
Amazing. And so let's talk about this book a little bit. So for all those that have been watching, so we're not going to spoiler it. We're not going to give you all the content. Why? Because we do sell books too, right? So when that's going to be, that book's going to be coming out shortly. And when it does, everybody's going to hear about it. So not worried about that. But for context, if you're new to the show or if you're new to Mission Matters, what we do is we really scour. We spend a lot of time looking for entrepreneurs and executives that have something to share, that have a mission, that have something that we feel is print worthy and that we want to get out to our audience. So Derek is one of those authors that will publish, and I'm really proud to have him in the book. And really, it's an honor to publish his writing. And so first off, Derek, thank you. Like, this is going to be fun to work together again.
I've always wanted to write a book, and I know we do video, but there is a medium for that too. There's a couple books on this shelf behind me as well, but I got to say, only through recommendations and growth, and
Yeah.
sometimes learning things the hard way. That's the only way to find your
Mhm.
way to the right success for you too. And so again, I was told a long time ago through one of my old bosses at CNN, hey, you can read whatever's the latest, but you got to
Yeah.
go for it and you got to take the shot. And that's what we're uncovering in the content that we're writing together, is that, you really got to, just go for it at sometimes
Mhm.
and earn that experience. And that's kind of the path that I've been down through.
Yeah.
The challenges of my life have led to this moment to where I can be successful as long as I keep my head straight and I keep moving
Yeah.
forward and we're staying above the table. Then those are all going to be variables for a formula to success.
So, Derek, I do want to talk a little bit more about your writing. So, again, like I said, we're not going to spoiler it at all, and I know this isn't at its final edit, so you definitely have room for the writing to evolve as well. But like, what are some of the things that you hope that the readers will get out of your message?
Absolutely. Again, when I was just saying, sometimes you got to take the shot. That's where
Mhm.
my whole career really started. At a younger age, I got to say, my mom had MS, and if you're
Mhm.
familiar with it, it's not a fun disease. And
Yeah.
my mother's doing okay these days; she's fine. But my
Mhm.
point is, from a younger age, I had to step up and be more of an adult. And I just looked up to my dad, who was a international businessman, and I just said, I
Yeah.
want to be an international businessman. And I had no idea what that meant. I didn't understand the world of technology and software that my
Mhm.
father was in. He was actually an electrical engineer at Kodak and
Mhm.
designed one of the world's very first document scanners. And so
Wow.
all the scanners you see, he was on the forefront of that. And that job brought him out to LA, which is basically where I'm at today. And
Mhm.
ever since then, I've had, again, an aspiration to follow along with the latest technologies and everything from mobile check deposit
Mhm.
to workflows that automate the processing of your
Yeah.
loan. So you don't have to wait 30 days to buy your new house. So you can buy it in 3 minutes with a new app on your phone.
Mhm.
I mean, those technologies just blow me away. And it all starts from a journey from a long time ago. So
Yeah.
after all these years, in the last 15 years, most prospectively, I really put my head down. I wanted to learn the technology, but then I also fell in love with the marketing side of it, the tool
Yeah.
sets available, and then how you pitch and sell these things
Mhm.
to build the right solutions for people, not just to profiteer, but to really like build let's just say instantly ROI producing
Yeah.
systems that really show an impact immediately right away. And it's just phenomenal how you can take a room of 100 people and break it down into two people who can do the job and then put those other 98 on revenue generation
Mhm.
opportunities. You really have to understand the technology, the marketing
Mhm.
and positioning to lead that on the front. And then, of course, on how to close the deal on the back end. And
Yeah.
so, quite naturally, I've just loved business from the start. There's all different forms of business, all different models of business, but how you do it your way. Again, I was kind of leaning on earlier. It's 50% science and 50% feng shui. It's no different when you make videos or when you run a company. There's a science and
Yeah.
there's a couple books that say what you should be doing, but how you go do that, how you do you, your brand, your style. I think that's just a really fun balance to work through. And again, we uncover some of that in the topic that we're covering inside the book.
How important has mentorship been like on your path? Like, tell me a little bit more about your views on mentorship. It sounds like, of course, you had your father in your life as a mentor, but just tell me in general, like, what has mentorship meant to you?
I am unbelievably thankful for my thought. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be doing what I was doing if it wasn't for my dad a long time ago
Mhm.
teaching me. Again, he started a company and he brought me in, and I had a choice
Yeah.
to go work at CNN or go build a company with my father, and I chose the latter, to go work with my father. And I couldn't be again more proud of like what we
Mhm.
did in building the right solutions. It gave me the ground level that I needed to
Yeah.
build that foundation upon. And so from there, it only got more fun because my network expanded, and through the
Mhm.
network of my dad, reached out to a bunch of other people, and then many other people along the way have been, really, really close to my heart and helping
Mhm.
guide me to the right way of success. Just quite a few people I want to give a thanks to, but really at the end of the day, the personal part of me evolves, and
Mhm.
they look that to the future and they go, say, hey, you have the right energy, you have the right thing, but you want to
Mhm.
keep these things in mind. So never act like you have it all figured out, because you don't. I think that's one of the best lessons that I've learned. As I shared from my other mentor at CNN, again, he's like, you could read what's popular, but you got to go earn that experience. And so the mentors that I've had along the
Yeah.
way, they look at the hustle that I've put into it, and they recognize that, and they want to make sure I'm set on the right path to success. So again, these have been people who have traveled with me to Moscow or sent me to Silicon Valley to go speak on stage. They put a lot of trust in me at a younger age. I don't mean to age myself, but they've been working with me again for the last 10 or 15 years, depending on how you slice and dice it. And I really couldn't be more thankful for that. They've helped set me on the right tracks. They give me real world situations and scenarios, and they talk to me in a conversational style, which works for me. And I think an important part of this is finding mentors that, work the way that you learn. I'm not very good at picking up very long books and writing essays about those things. I work through conversations and real world examples, and that's how it comes to life for me. And so again, to my mentors, thank you a million times over. But I hope that I can continue to give back as I'm now hitting this part of my own age to where I'm starting to mentor other people. And I have quite a few of those. So the best lesson that I got from my mentors is always give more than you take. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do these days.
Man, what an amazing story. And I think every time you and I talk, we always go back to that whole thought, like, once you think you know something, you're in trouble. Like, you better, like, something's gonna happen. Like, you gotta kind of rethink things. And also the mentorship thing is something that we definitely agree on. Like, I'm all about the mentorship side of things. And I just think, like, your explanation's better than mine, but I would just say it saves you time and money. Like, there's so many people that have made so many mistakes that you can learn from that. And if you are the book type of person, pick up a book. If you're the conversation type of person, then talk to somebody, find the right person to talk to somebody. But the point is, like, nowadays, the information's out there, right?
That's right. And again, there are videos online. There are plenty of books to choose from. I do a lot of audio books. And so, I mean, just for me, that's something that, I evolved into over time. And I just realized I learn faster that way. I learn better through conversations. And so, like, that fits me, that works for me. And again, I think that for everyone, finding the right type of mentorship, the right type of person who understands who you are and what you're trying to accomplish, that's really trying to fit like the perfect piece inside the puzzle that builds you up. And so as you grow and you evolve and you get better, you're going to move on from mentor to mentor. And you can have some that stick around for the rest of your life because they're that great. But then there will be mentors who teach you in many snippets of your life in maybe a couple months or a couple years of time. And I think that those have been some of the most impressionable because they get you to think in different ways that challenge the way that, well, I got here. Well, now I got to undo this and relook at this and reanalyze it again, So this state of being uncomfortable in growth is not a default human state. And I think that's what's most important you don't naturally just want to wake up and go get better. You have to be about that life. You have to want to go do that. And after someone who played football for 14 years, I coached for 7, I realized that if you're only interested in trying to get out under the lights, to go play the game, and that's all you care about, you're going to really miss the point. You're supposed to enjoy the grind along the way. You're supposed to want to wake up and hit the weight room and then go run and then, get sick and then go back and hit the weight room again and be about that if you're going to be the best of the best of the best, sir. If you know the movie reference or not. But hey, I got to say, at the end of the day, if you really want it, you got to go get it and you got to enjoy that grind to get there, because all of a sudden you'll be standing up on top of the mountaintop and you're like, oh my gosh, I made it. I can't believe I went through all that. And then you're going to peer over there and then there will be a new mountaintop in your eyesight, and you're going to have the strength and the confidence and the determination to go get that next mountain peak. And that's how I want to motivate people myself. But those are the things that we're trying to talk about in the business leadership section of this book.
So speaking to some of the entrepreneurs out there, like, there's obviously a lot going on right now for people that'll watch this far into the future. We're recording this in January 2022. The word pivot, shift, finding different ways to, solve new problems and new opportunities that are arising. Like, a lot of change going on right now. What kind of things would you tell to some of those entrepreneurs out there that are maybe kind of finding their stride right now and trying to figure out their place in all of this?
I got to say, now is a better time than ever. No one knew that we would be here heading into, I guess, whatever would be the 3rd year of a pandemic, but that didn't slow a lot of other people down. It just changed the environment in which things take place. But now that remote work is more encouraged than ever, a freelancer economy is something that's being embraced more than ever. I think more at the end of the day, people have been trying to align their values with big companies and brands and trying to make things work. And you go into the office and you do the thing. But now if you really have the freedom in your own hands and you get to decide, now's your chance, is my point. Take the shot, just like we say in the book. There's not going to be a better time. Now, there's ways to do things safely. now out there. I was going to make it clear. You don't just quit your job and
Yeah.
financially put yourself in a bad position. No, but you sit down and it only takes a couple of hours a night.
Mhm.
Don't go play Xbox. Don't go have a couple drinks. Don't go to the bars. Go put your butt into that chair and get to work. And what is that going to look like? Remember, there's
Yeah.
50% science and 50% feng shui. So if you've got the part of how you are and what you want to do and you want to bring that to
Mhm.
life, whether it's in photography or writing a new piece of software
Mhm.
or coming up with a marketing agency or whatever your dreams desire, go get started now. Write it down. Come
Yeah.
back to it tomorrow. Spend another 15 minutes on it. Get hyped on yourself is my
Mhm.
point. don't don't just go and be like, oh, well, I'm going to go make $1 million and then not write down a business plan.
Yeah.
If you want to make $1 million in a year, then divide 1 million by 12 and
Mhm.
then divide whatever per month you are by whatever you're going to sell or whatever you're going to offer for your services. And then there's a
Yeah.
game plan. How are you going to do it? And that's what I want to tell people is like the math and the science is already there. If you can write it down and then get on the phone, and then you're going to be set up for success just by getting those two done. So I want to
Yeah.
make it sound like, being an entrepreneur doesn't necessarily mean you have to go make $100 million.
Yeah.
If you read the book Rework, supported by Mark Cuban,
Mhm.
right? At the end of the day, too many people have been graded
Mhm.
on, how big is your company? And like somehow like that in your brain becomes the determinant of success. I've seen
Mhm.
people make a couple $100,000 a year and just be living the dream.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. They're not interested in having a bunch of employees. They wanted to create an environment for
Mhm.
themselves. And I think that's what's important is they get to determine their life. They have the freedom of choice to choose what they want to do with their time. They want to go get a cup of coffee,
Mhm.
great. They want to go play PlayStation, wonderful. They can go and do those things. But at the end of the day, think about what's important to you and what you want
Mhm.
to accomplish. Is really the dream to create a multi-million dollar company, a $10 million company,
Yeah.
$100 million company? You're trying to reinvent the world? Well, those are going to take one little baby
Mhm.
step at a time right now if you're starting from zero. But on the flip side of it, if you're just trying to create a lifestyle for yourself, how
Yeah.
much do you need to do? Think about the future, put that money away, and then
Mhm.
go for it.
So interesting that you say that. Like people get to choose what they want to do now. I'll get on my soapbox for a moment. These kids these days and their remote work. When I was a kid, I had to go through the snow in Michigan to go to my internship to start learning something else or to start any little thing I could do. Or I'm working. Now you get to do these things remote. Now you get to possibly have a quality of living as well, even if you have, let's just call it the side gig, other than your primary job where you're building another business. I'm not saying it's easy, right? Like it's more hours, it's time, it's emotional focus, it's emotional energy. Lots of things go into it, but man, you're right. When you talk about opportunity, when you talk about the ability for like education and to learn a skill set, I see people starting like different businesses where, a year prior to that, 2 years prior to that, like they didn't even know what that business was. And they picked up a skill and they learned it and then they took it to the marketplace and were rewarded. So, man, there's opportunity all around. So, I love your message there, Derek. So I want to switch focus a bit here. So I want to talk a little bit more about Explainify. I also don't want to assume that the audience that's watching now caught our first interview together. So maybe let's just start with Explainify. So tell us a little bit more about the business, please.
Yeah. So again, as I was touching on earlier, it's our 10-year anniversary. And brands
Yeah.
you know and love, I can't mention all of them, trust our company to bring their stories to life through short form explainer videos. And so
Mhm.
you're talking videos that are anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds. But what's actually been most popular lately are companies coming in to create awareness, education,
Mhm.
and revenue generation campaigns. So when it
Um,
comes to branding and building awareness around what you're trying to do, your company's
mhm.
culture and who you are, that's something that we do. Educational video series are very popular right now. We just talked about
Mhm.
entrepreneurs trying to educate themselves. We have
Yeah.
that right now. Companies coming to us going, "Hey, I need to train people on my products. I need to train them on a new certificate that they need to earn for some sort of security certification."
Mhm.
It's endless internal employee
Mhm.
training for being remote. It's kind of endless.
Yeah.
But then on the back end, you have your traditional revenue generation, marketing videos that
Mhm.
lead into conversions and better sales and support the sales enablement process all the way through.
Mhm.
So, I mean, now on the forefront of it, we're being attracted into other areas of new technologies that create
Yeah.
more interactive video. And so you'll be seeing that in the next couple of years. And
Man.
again, who knows? You'll be seeing Explainify's videos in the metaverse soon enough. As
Oh,
that
that's
starts to come
cool.
along now, because that's the big talk.
No, that's so cool. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see how you and your team continue to push the envelope of what's possible with this. And I don't want to assume, I feel like there's different people watching. Some, they may have, made let's just say some type of low budget, like explainer video that they put in a software and they didn't have a good experience. There's people that maybe have gone down the path, but didn't exactly get the end result. And then there's people that have, that really understand and get what explainer videos are and how powerful they can be, most importantly, to a business, to achieving a business objective. So maybe you don't have to give, as you mentioned, no client names or anything like that, but can you give us an example of like what this looks like?
Yes. I got to say, for when you talk about, lower end, we're going to talk about affordability. Now
Yeah.
we're up in more of the premium tier. If you need to make an impact and it needs to be done right, and
Yeah.
you want to retain information and really bring that story to life, then you come to Explainify. But we have
Yeah.
partners who operate at a lower level of animation complexity that produce phenomenal videos. There is a
Absolutely.
place in the market for it. So yeah, it's we partner with these teams, right? One of the goals of what we've done is Explainify is to build a network of the world's leading talents. So if you want the Apple voiceover guy, we have that. It doesn't cost you anything else. If you want someone who's worked with Walmart, Disney, IBM, name, we have those talents available, and we can showcase that for you from the video examples to inspire you. And that's something that a lot of people can do. So after 10 years and doing that a lot, we have our own little base there, but we're also supported by people who are trying to do it themselves. We actually this year have a creative competition going on to where you can submit your own artwork to Explainify and be featured by Explainify. And so again, if you're a budding art student, you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to do your own thing, go visit explainify.com right now and we'll get started for you. Okay. But if you're trying to do it yourself through software, that's okay too. If you need tips and tricks, you can follow along with our showcase of videos and get inspired again. But then even for, I'm not saying quality, okay, because there's great quality videos down there, but we're talking about time of video and animation complexity. We push towards the most complex animation styles, which just takes additional man hours, which costs more money. But that content can last for 3 or 5 years minimum if you do it right with us. If you're trying to get something out really quick and it just needs to be a one-timer, then there is a place in the market for those things. So yeah, I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way. But again, I've created, $300-$500 videos in the past, but they don't look like some of the videos that we're producing today, but they got the job done at the time. So again, not to kill anybody's spirit. It's like, you got to do what's right in that moment. And there is a place for that type of content as well. So again, if you're just getting down there and you're trying to do it yourself, there's plenty of help online, but you can also come to explainify.com and get inspired by the work we've done. If you're trying to do that middle ground of, well, I want something really poppy, but I don't have all those, we've got those partnerships too. So again, I would say there's 50% science and a 50% feng shui. You need a video, build off the awareness, education, and revenue generation pillars that we've talked about, because that's where you go. And then you build supporting content off of that. So then how you do it, your color set, your branding, the style, the cadence, the voiceover, the music, that's like the artistic stroke of the brush that I really love to take with Explainify. But again, those two parts go hand in hand. So if you already have half of it done, and you need the science part, how you go do it, that's up to you. And we can help with that if you'd like. But other than that, we encourage you to go do it today. Don't wait 9 months. Don't wait 9 weeks. Do it in the next 9 minutes, and you will feel so much better about yourself. I guarantee it.
Well, that's very helpful. So I'm glad you gave a overview of just the overall market and what's possible there, and awesome that you have the submission process now, and you're now, of course, you've gotten value, and now you're just finding more ways to even be of more value to the marketplace by providing this additional opportunity. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it's fun. But I want to focus a little bit further on like what it takes to make one of these premium videos, like what that entails, because I just know the difference, especially in tech companies, SaaS companies, like other things like that. Like when we think about, especially like, the type of difference the right explainer video can make to communicating a product to, the marketplace can make. I mean, it can really move the needle on something. So tell me just a little bit into kind of not the secret sauce, but what goes into creating one of those like really nice, high polished finished pieces.
I'm going to give you the secret sauce because I like you, bud. And you know what? We're going to shortcut it right there. On our website, we share our trademark frustration-free video creation process. So when
Yeah.
you come in, you can have a bunch of, oh, I need to do a video for this and I need to do a video for that, and I'm getting overwhelmed. That is the science part that cuts right
Mm.
through it. And we say, hey, what's important? What's the goal? What's the KPI to
Mhm.
success? What does the expectation for success look like? We have a bunch of visuals example, but we're going to get to that. Like, what's the point of the
Yeah.
video? Like, what are we really trying to do? And then you
Yeah.
start to backtrack and you realize that people try to come in a lot of the time,
Mhm.
try to do too much in one video. Well, I've got 5
Mm.
different products to talk about, and I got to get this done by the end of the quarter so we can increase our leads 57%. And, people just start spinning, and you're just like, all right, hey, we're here for you. We're going to take care of this. But we
Mhm.
might recommend that you actually split it out into a lot of smaller, more targeted videos.
Mhm.
It's not even just more cost effective, but it
Yeah.
helps with your sanity, helps with your SEO, and it's going to get you those results that you need. And so what we find ourselves doing is going back to those pillar concepts, and
Mhm.
then we build around those pillars and then create additional supporting content for it. So if you
Mm.
have a product overview video, well, then you're going to need supplementary product feature videos that explain
Yeah.
the way through features, or quick start tutorial videos as to how to get started. So one of my favorites, just to give more examples, is
Mhm.
when you go to the App Store and you see those App Store videos and they're
Yeah.
just like a minute long. We've
Yeah.
done those, and we've done those a lot. And if you're just trying to get 1 million downloads in the next couple months, we've got you covered. There's a
Yeah.
science to doing it that way, in that sort of format, if you would,
Mhm.
right? Because the App Store format would be different than maybe a website format for $1 million piece of software.
Mhm.
So is the app free? Is the software very expensive?
Mhm.
Those tensions can really, I don't know, twist people up. But it's the same goal at the end of the day. You need to make content that attracts the viewer,
Mhm.
keeps them retained, and then communicates important information as to what you expect them to retain or take action on. So download free trial, download the app, get started, schedule a
Yeah.
call with us, speak with the rep, get a live demo. However,
Mhm.
however it comes out at the end, again, there's that science part. And then once we nail that through the frustration-free
Mhm.
video creation process of getting the story out and what we're going to try to be doing for success, then
Mhm.
we start opening up to the visualization part of the land. And that's where it gets exciting. That's where the colors come to life. You get to pick the
Mhm.
style, you get to pick the voiceover. And then
Yeah.
once you have your style, your cadence, your music, and most
Mhm.
importantly, I argue, is the voice of what you want it to be,
Yeah.
that can continue to reciprocate and just reap benefits for years to come if you continue to do it right. Continued content creation is more important than one-off content creation. If you can
Mm.
continue to make lots of smaller videos that support one another, and you
Yeah.
place them across your site, you put them on social media, you put them out on the PR wire, if you would, and get
Yeah.
people to notice, you're going to start seeing results sooner rather than later. I'll tell you that.
Man, that's exciting. And you said this word twice, and you're my guy when it comes to video. So you might be putting some video in the metaverse, or you might be like, I'm not going to hold you to this, but I need this on the recording so that we can look back at this when you guys are dominating over there, and then when you have this huge body of work. So tell me a little bit more about these plans. What you can tell me as of this moment.
Absolutely. And I can say that upwards of 70% of our clients are software and technology leaders in the world. So it's
Mm.
SaaS applications, software as a service
Yeah.
applications, and things that are complicated to explain, which can sometimes be a little dry, but we make
Yeah.
it exciting. We make it retentive. The how you do it comes and fixes a lot of that. So we
Mhm.
get the story, we build on top of that. But then there are some other industries, banking, finance, healthcare. They just have exciting developments all the time. And so
Yeah.
those stories come to life. But even on the forefront of it now, heading more in towards the future, we've just
Mhm.
completed a couple of NFT projects, new crypto coin
Awesome.
projects. And people are already asking, how do I get the video into the metaverse? How's that
Yeah.
experience going to look like? I would say we're still in the very early stages of how all of
Mhm.
that looks. I don't think people are going to be walking down the street with screens strapped to their face all the time, just like Elon Musk thought.
Yeah.
But I think that there's going to be a blend between virtual reality and
Mhm.
augmented reality. And so Apple is even supposed to
Mhm.
be releasing glasses. That's we've heard this for a couple years now, but using locational tags, air
Yeah.
tags, if you've heard that technology, other GPS locators syncing with your phone, knowing your preferences and your
Mhm.
likes. When you were walking down the street and you have these special glasses on of
Mhm.
augmented reality technology, and you look to your favorite store, very much
Mhm.
like Minority Report, you're going to see something in the future to where that video is playing to you. Derek, you like, this skate shop and here's the new longboard, right? I mean, I like skateboards and longboards. So I'm like, okay, here's a longboard and it's just for you. And like, here's a price, click this to buy it now, walk in the store and we'll have it at the counter for you. Interactive video at that level, that's the future set. Are we there yet right now? No, but it's getting to that and you're on the precipice of it right now. And so getting the story right and the branding right, check. But now it's going to be like, how do you master the technology platform and create interactive video, which is, again, something I was talking about earlier here in this interview is like, that's where we're being pulled into right now. I can't share all those details, but in the next couple of months, you will see that from Explainify and how we're leading the edge on that.
No, that's exciting. That's why I had to get it documented because I know you're leading the edge on a lot of this stuff, but I want it first. That's the thing. You bring that news to Mission Matters. That's what I'm talking about, Derek.
I got you, man.
So, you and I can talk all day, and I have about 50 more questions for you, but we're about out of time on this episode. So that being said, if somebody is watching this and they want to connect and they want to learn more about Explainify and connect with you and your team, what's the best ways for them to do that?
Absolutely. Visit our website, explainify.com. It has all the resources that you need to be inspired for your next video projects. You can see examples from the world's largest brands, largest software companies, largest banks, healthcare providers. But then also on the back end too, it's important is that you follow along on social media. We're constantly posting tips and tricks that just keep you in the loop of things casually inside your feed. So if you like any of the platforms, we're really on there. We're looking to push into a couple more, but I would recommend following along on LinkedIn, even on Instagram if you wish. However you choose to interact with us, we're going to constantly be trying to provide genuine, insightful, and helpful information for you so that we can continue to push your video marketing, education, and awareness efforts all the way down the pipe. So again, visit the website if you want to get started and get inspired with a couple ideas. Reach out to your team. We'd be more than happy to get started with you or even pitch you a couple free ideas if you're looking for it. But then on the back end, follow along and keep up to date with us because we're going to continue to share what's the latest at Explainify.
Amazing. And what, Derek, 100%. Once this book comes out, of course, we're going to bring you back on the show because I do want to do a deeper dive into your writing and some of the thoughts behind it and definitely bring that to our audience. So we'll definitely have you back on the show for that. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters, we're a platform that's all about bringing on entrepreneurs, executive, and experts and really having them share why they do what they do and how they do what they do. And more importantly, the mission behind it. Why? Because we feel like that's what's going to go into the marketplace and make a difference for us all. If that's the type of content that you're into, or if that sounds interesting to you, of course, hit that subscribe button because we have many more mission-based individuals coming on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Derek, man, I'm looking forward to releasing this book with you and having you back on the show so we can talk about it. So thanks again.
No, I'm really honored to be able to speak about business leadership. I'm only here because of the leaders and mentors who help get me here. And I really thank them a million times over again as I get my last chance here. But I really look forward to giving more than I can take and really inspiring the next team to go get it done. And so whoever you are out there, again, take your shot right now. And that's what we're going to uncover in that book. So I'm excited for when it comes out.